About a month ago, I uploaded this video, where I explained that there is a shared romantic love between Zelda and Link using evidence from Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And you guys really liked it. So today, I'm going to be reading and reacting to your comments from that video. Before we get started, if you haven't watched the original video, please go and do that. It's linked in the description, and also spoiler warning. Let's get started. Zelda tells Link, "I'm home" at the ending. In Japan, you only tell that to people at a familiar level or people that you live with. And I actually hearted this comment, and I've seen this pop up all over in the comments that Zelda tells Link, "I'm home," and in the Japanese version, that's like a super unique phrase that you only say to like family or people you live with apparently and different things like that. So that is a super cool detail that I didn't know because I'm not Japanese. So yeah. Another huge thing that proves Link loves Zelda is how heartbroken he looks when the Dragon Tears quest is done. When he's surrounded by the Silent Princesses, he looks so sad. We hardly ever see him emote like this, and it's so... There will never be enough proof for the people that just don't like the pairing. The writers could come forward and spell it out, and it wouldn't be enough. They will always say, well, actually, Link's a blank slate character, so he feels whatever I want to feel. Except Link is not a blank slate. He has a backstory, opinions, and a personality, even if we kind of got robbed of it in the English translation. Yeah, that's true. The Japanese definitely has like more of Link as like a first-person historian account in the Sheikah Slate and Breath of the Wild and things like that. And it's true that just some people won't like the pairing, and that's okay. You don't have to like it. But I think it's important to note that what this comment is getting to is the fact that like in every Breath of the Wild game, none of us are the disenchanted. Did you see the petals? Yes, we saw the petals, and the petals mean love. And so like, yes, he does. Link has a backstory, he has opinions, he has a personality, and that's an important thing to note. Zelda's journal refers to her house as my house, but the Japanese translation refers to it our house. So in short, they live together. The house only has one bed. Oh my gosh. Zelda has to hide her gifts for him outside of their house because he would find it because he lives there. Oh my gosh, that's actually so good, because in my video, I don't do a very good job giving evidence of the fact that they share the house. Like, it's obvious that Zelda has the house, and like maybe like for all we know, Zelda could have become a Hyrulean dictator and was like, "Link, give me your house for the greater good of the kingdom." And he was like, "Okay, princess." And so there's actually not a lot of evidence to state that they actually share it. But this, like, right, why would Zelda have a secret well, and why would she hide her diary if, like, why would she do that secretly and not put it inside of her house? Because Link would find it, because they live together. That's such, I didn't even think about that, but that is like, that's really good evidence. That basically proves that they do share that house. Wow, this is a long one. One of the things I really liked about the Find Zelda quest was that it wasn't resolved when you got all the memories. Ooh, that's true. The actual ending surprised me, though. I went through it. Zelda got back because of Link. The reason Link never dismissed the quest to find her was because he was determined to find a way to bring her back no matter the difficulty. It didn't matter that even the Zonai, with their almost godlike abilities, couldn't figure it out. He wouldn't give up on her because he loves her. Oh, that's good. I like that, because like I had this really small point in a video. It's like, hey, the Find Zelda quest. It's kind of interesting. And it's like, no, it's like that quest is only resolved even when Link knows that Zelda is the Light Dragon. It's only completed when she is transformed back and at the very end of the game. That's such good. I even hearted this comment. That is so awesome. That is so awesome, man. One thing to note about the ending cutscene is when Zelda says she felt a warm, loving embrace, Link actually smiles widely. What? There is a Tumblr user who managed to change the camera settings in an emulator and aimed it at Link's face. Even though his face isn't seen in the cutscene, it's interesting that the Zelda team deliberately took the time to animate his expression. Wow. Like, okay, wait, I need to find that video. Hold up. I think this is it. Oh yeah, this is definitely the camera's...
No, I understand.
Why can I only hear on my right ear? That's weird. Whoa!
I had been sleeping.
Whoa, that's so cool they can just manipulate it.
When I felt something, like a warm, loving embrace.
Oh my gosh! He smiles! Oh, and then he disappears. What the heck? Oh my gosh. That's so awesome. I'm just a simple... Oh, I've heard of this comment. I'm just a simple person, and all I know is that if the storyline goes beyond time and space for something beyond yourself to another, that's simply love. That is... Oh my gosh. This guy gets it. He gets it. It's like, yep, if it goes beyond time and space, that's love. I don't know, 34 minutes, 34-minute video, nah, it's just like, if it goes beyond time and space, it's love, man. Don't forget that Dragon Zelda went to Link even when she didn't have any memories. That's how strong their love is. Dang. That's true though, because her memories literally, right? Her tears went away. I'm gonna give that a heart. That's a good point. That's like a short, concise, yes, evidence. Good, I like it. Another thing, I've hearted this comment too. Another thing is I think it's not just Link's romantic love. My theory is like it's Sonia's motherly love, Raru's teammate love, because she's part of the sages, cool, and Link's romantic love. Oh, it's like a Triforce. It's mostly romantic love carrying the team. He's like 2/3 and they're like 1/3. It's them knowing what to do and using Link's power to do it. Yeah, absolutely. That's really good. That's really good, man. In the distant past in Tears of the Kingdom, Sonia drops a remark to Zelda about how she has to return home to put Link's mind at ease. When Rauru, I assume that's Rauru asks Zelda about Link, it's obvious that Sonia and Rauru pick up on her love for him and her reply, yes, definitely. That entire memory is like totally, Sonia was like, so you want to go back to your era, huh? Why is that, huh? And then Zelda just like gushes about Link, and you can just like, Rauru and Sonia know what's up, and it's really funny. In the German version, the Gerudo teacher literally asks Link if he has a girlfriend, and he says, oh yes, and she tells Link that he is very direct, and if you say no, the teacher doesn't fully believe you. Oh, the Germans, they're just like, do you have a girlfriend? He's like, yeah, and it is like, do you have a girlfriend? No. He's like, I don't believe you. That is so funny. I'm gonna give that a heart. Another thing you could have mentioned was the moment when Link gets the Master Sword back in Tears of the Kingdom from Zelda. The sword is covered in petals as they fall, revealing it all healed up. Oh, that's so good. Well, now that I've like broken down the entire petal evidence line thing about petals, you can look in like almost every scene in Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild and be like, oh, there's petals. Oh, there's particles up there that kind of look like petals. It's like you're going to start seeing petals everywhere. But I do like that it's like petally stuff around the Master Sword that Zelda used to heal the Master Sword. That is a cool detail. I do like that. Another huge detail in the final cutscene is when Link grabs Zelda using his right hand, the one that Rauru replaced. Throughout the game, the sages all swear their loyalty and protection to Link by grabbing his right hand and give him their power. At the end, Link is finally able to grab Zelda's hand, thus swearing his loyalty, protection, and love to her. I love that. Oh, I love that so much. That's so good. Oh, you get a heart. That is, oh my goodness, that's such a good detail. Holy cow. Dude, that's so good. Dude, it's all of the petal symbolism and the hand grabbing symbolism is like exploding off the screen every time I see someone like take hands, or if I see petals on the screen in Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I'm like, look, it's evidence. It's everywhere. Also in Breath of the Wild, there's a scene where Zelda talks to the Deku tree and she asks him to tell Link and the tree interrupts to say that the words would come from the heart that the words that come from the heart must be said in person. That's very true. There are just like a bunch of scenes in both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom where Zelda's kind of like flirty, gushy about Link, and then she gets like cut off, or like a monster jumps out of the bushes or whatever. And I didn't really include those because they technically don't prove anything. It's not like solid evidence, but it is like the sheer volume of scenes where Zelda in Age of Calamity, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, where Zelda gets kind of like flirty, lovey-dovey, is a lot, and I feel like the volume speaks for itself. Status quo, I think, has never been there is no love between Link and Zelda. Rather, it's up to our imagination what the relationship could have been like between the two. Yeah, that's true. I will admit, and like, I only made that status quo in the beginning of the video to give me something to bounce arguments off of. Nintendo has never actually said, there is no shared romantic love between Link and Zelda. They have just never explicitly stated that there is. They have left it intentionally vague. And so for the purposes of the video, I made it a little less vague. I was like, I need something to actually bounce arguments off of to make the video more effective with how I present evidence. So yes, the status quo is more like, it's vague, it's up to interpretation. But for the purposes of the video, I made it a little more stark so I could have better contrast with how I used my evidence and my arguments. When Zelda sent out the tears, they flew in a kind of heart shape. Is that true? Okay, so here she forms the tears. All right, get ready to pause. Ah! Hold on. I mean, kinda. I mean, like you go, bop. It's like kind of like a heart like that. Nah, but then I mean, I'm conflicted. It's like it kind of could be a heart if you wanted it to be a heart, but it's not like. I mean, like it is interesting that this one is a bit lower, which would be the dot that if you were trying to draw a shape with this, that would make it a heart. It is interesting that this tier is a bit lower as opposed to it being higher up to make a complete circle. But then again, so is this one. So could be intentional, could not be. Kind of up for interpretation. It's actually crazy how much Link pulls in this series. Short kings are up. He's like Bruno Mars. Oh, that's great. I love that. I legit got chills when you brought up the flower thing. I know, right? It's just, man, the pedals are it all. The pedals are so good, man. If you think about it, an act of courage is accomplished only because one's motive and willpower are great enough to overcome fear. Courage, therefore, is equivalent to motive and willpower. Therefore, your three components to unlock magical powers are the three virtues represented by the Triforce. Oh! Power, wisdom, courage. Dude, that's so good. That's so good. That's so true. Very good point. Man, this is so awesome. While I don't fully disagree with the conclusion, I don't think magic in this world really requires strong motivation. We see Urbosa just snapping a lightning bolt from the sky, and Revali's Gale was developed by Revali simply because he wanted to get better and doesn't seem to have any issues performing it with just some practice. Yeah, that's true, right? So strength and practice are all motivations. I can't really say anything about Urbosa because I don't know how that works, but I think it's important to note that in the Champion's Ballad memory, Revali really only gets Revali's Gale when Zelda comes and talks to him and tells him about Link. And so maybe Revali's motivation is just being better than Link, which kind of sucks. But again, I can't really say anything about Urbosa. Because I was trying to be a little bit general with that principle, but the fact of having the bad thing about having a general principle is that it doesn't always work with tons of different magic, because you have the Zonai Sage magic, you have the Champion's abilities, which I guess are magic, or like maybe the Gerudo just inherited that genetically. I don't even know if maybe it's not magic. Maybe Urbosa's power is genetic, and then she just somehow gave it to Link in Breath of the Wild. Then you have Zelda's sealing magic. Then you have like the light and time magic of Rauru and Sonia, and then you have the combined magic that reverses Draconification. So those are like 5 technically different forms of magic that I was trying to shove under a general principle, which isn't exactly the cleanest, but you know, I was trying to get my point across in that line of argumentation. But it is true that magic is specific, and it's harder to put a pin in something specific with a general principle. So there is a little bit of give with that point. Holy cow, this is a long comment. What the? Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna read that. That is so long. Oh my gosh, here's another one. Wow. I am sure there is really good stuff in that comment, but that is just so long, man. Started the video looking for a good theory, ended up crying and feeling lonely. LMAO, great video. I'm sorry I made you feel lonely, but I'm really glad you enjoyed the video, so yay. Lots of reaching in this vid, but I do think it's pretty obvious that they love each other. Zelda in her passionate way and Link in his stoic way. That dive and hand grab at the end. Ooh, the feels. Oh, it's so true. All the feels were happening in that last cutscene. I will admit that there is reaching in my video, and I didn't go into all of the niche details and research into like the magic and like what we can learn from past Zelda games and things like that. I was trying to keep it purely to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I will admit that there was reaching, but like if even 2 or 3 of the points that I made were reaching, then there's got to be like 5 other ones that are like solid, irrefutably like right there. So yeah. While I agree with most of your video, one thing terribly wrong. Mipha wasn't just a childhood crush, especially considering that she is almost double as old as Link. She saw him grow from a little baby she held in her arms into the young man she fell in love with. It was a childhood crush that she never got over. The trident she wanted to give him is a symbol of engagement, like an engagement ring. She wanted to marry him when the calamity was over. And Link reacted pretty bummed out once he got to hear the truth about this. When it comes to Link, I feel like he really loved Mipha, but considering the circumstances, his love shifted towards Zelda at first, just slightly, because they spent so much time with each other, and later, 100 years later, because they only had each other, and well, this brings people closer. Yes, I will admit, I kind of danced around Mipha as a character in the video, and all I said, like, I just used her in that one point showing, like, how magical powers are used, and I didn't use her as, like, an actual character with memories and diary entries and things like that very much, but it is a factor. I don't think it's like a swaying bit of evidence regarding how Link feels about Zelda, but it is an interesting bit of history that I didn't touch on very much in the video, so it is good to see this. Nintendo Black Crisis didn't make Tears of the Kingdom Z-Link video. Qcraft, fine, I'll do it myself. Oh, it's funny because that was like totally my mindset. I was like, I really like this topic. I really want to like dive into it, but I was kind of waiting for Nintendo Black Crisis. Like, are they gonna make a Tears of the Kingdom video? Are they gonna do it? And so I just like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna make one diving into evidence in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm just gonna get it out and do it. Oh, that is so funny. I'm giving that a heart. Those petals weren't falling, they were rising. And then the reply, to be fair, the petals were also rising and falling in the Hudson wedding scene. If we are to be technical, both scenes have rising and falling petals where there's no strong wind, thus supporting Bolson's claim. Watch the Silent Princess flowers again, it barely moves, yet the supposed strong wind current is moving the petals in its directions. Yep, that is the, yeah, I was literally gonna say that, but this person replied perfectly. And that is all we have time for today. Again, guys, thank you so much for the support that has come through with this video. I had a ton of fun making it, and just seeing all of your guys' theories alongside it in the comments, and just really all the stuff and all the support that has been showed to this channel through this video. I've really appreciated it. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content. I'm live about once a week, so you can catch me there. More YouTube videos in the future, hopefully. I got a bunch of ideas for more Tears of the Kingdom stuff. They just need to happen, and they probably will. So be on the lookout for those. Again, thank you guys so much. I will see you in the next one.